Real Talk with Liza, evoking thoughts, embracing change, and evolving lives. Liza Boubari is your expert in women's wellness and personal growth, offering practical tips to break emotional blocks, reset limiting beliefs, and take control of your life. With over 20 years of experience, Liza delivers actionable guidance to help you navigate challenges, break old patterns, and thrive, empowering you to face life with confidence and clarity. You'll leave each show with real tools to transform your mindset and your life. Ready to take the next step? Call 818-221-2797 or visit realtalk870.com to connect. And now, your host, Liza Boubari.
Greetings, and welcome to Real Talk with Liza, where we evoke, embrace, and evolve together. No matter where you are in this very moment, emotionally, physically, even spiritually, I want to thank you for letting me be alongside with you. If you are driving, at home, tucking in the kids, or just kicking back and just listening. I'm Liza Boubari, clinical hypnotherapist and wellness expert, and over 2 decades, I've been helping women heal emotional wounds, reconnect with their bodies, and finally feel whole from the inside out. Here on Real Talk, we think deeply, feel fully, and live boldly. Tonight, we're diving into something that may just rattle a bit in the best way possible. Just rattle your thoughts, emotions. Definitely, I can't rattle your body since I'm away from you, right? Just a little bit of a humor just to wake you up, right? Okay, let me start with a question. How many times have you sold a piece of your soul for someone else's comfort? Have you thought about that? Maybe it was for love. Maybe it was to keep the family together. Maybe it was so you wouldn't lose that job or keep someone liking you, respecting you, or so you wouldn't rock the boat. Because women, we always do this. Not always, but we do this all the time. It's a part of what we have become, the buffer, the fixer, the soother, even some of us call it the sacrificer. We sacrifice so much in the name of the family, in the name of love, in the name of keeping it together, because we've been told to do so. We cover for others, hold their mess, clean up their emotional spills, and while ignoring this giant ache inside us. And we call it being strong, being a good wife, a good daughter, mother, friend, even colleagues. Now, here's what happens. When you cover for others too long, you uncover your own wounds. When you sell pieces of your soul, eventually there's not enough left for you to come home to. And this entire thing sprung because of so many things. As a clinical hypnotherapist, I work with clients for weight issues, especially emotional weight, mental weight. They come to me, it's like a last resort. They've heard that hypnosis helps with weight and dropping weight. I call it dropping weight because I don't, frankly, the word lose is a loss. It's sad, it's negative. And no matter what you lose, eventually you will go and find it and bring it back. You want it back because loss is not something that we like. But when you let it go, release it and drop it, that means you had a hand in it. you had something to do with it. So emotional weight is one of the things that I help my clients to peel away emotions, to peel away that block and the heaviness. So I'm curious, what have you been swallowing that your soul desperately wants to spit out? And I say that because it's that oral gratification. The things that you eat, drink, and you constantly suppress orally. And where in your life are you smiling on the outside, and yet there is a part of you screaming inside? It's like that deep wound within you, what we call it, the gut. And how long do you think your body can keep carrying this weight of everything that is never said, never felt, and never healed? Because it's not about what you eat, it's what's eating at you. Let me say that again. It's not always about what you eat, that you have to measure, count calories, and diet, but what's eating at you. And believe me, your body knows. Your body keeps the count more than the calories that you count. That emotional weight, it's not just metaphorical, it becomes biological. Your cells are listening to every single lie you tell yourself about being I'm fine. So, and look, I'm not saying this because I'm putting myself on a pedestal, believe me or not. I've been there. I've packed on so many of those layers and stood in front of the mirror and wondered, how did this happen? How did I get where I am? And if you start keeping a journal, not necessarily about the things you do, who you talk to, but keeping a journal of your day, like the things that you felt, the things that triggered you, the things that you hold on to without realizing it, but you just jot them down. You know, when we talk about subconscious writing or the unconscious writing, it's like this taking a piece of paper, and instead of your dominant hand, whatever it is, the dominant hand that writes, you shift it and you take a pen, and on a piece of paper, you start writing. First, start with your name. It takes a while for you to get used to writing. And believe it or not, eventually, that inner self, the subconscious information, will come out. So we call it releasing the dominance and start writing with the other hand. Or if that's difficult for you, just sit in front of a piece of paper and start writing just whatever it is that you feel. I need, I want, I can, I will, and then fill out what comes next. It can be one word or two words. So, because there once upon a time, I thought my worth dependent on how well I could keep everyone else comfortable, even if it meant betraying myself. Truth is, your girl right here probably lost more hours of sleep worrying about what someone may think than I ever have eating a cake at midnight. If not a cake, that's not true. It was ice cream. So if you're nodding along, welcome. It would be 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, and I would be taking a scoop of ice cream and just eating, numbing myself. And there were times that I was walking on eggshells because of a relationship. And I would just sit in front of the TV, and this is how I would numb myself. I would turn on the QVC, and for about 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe more, stare at QVC. And if you have any idea what QVC is, and this is a long time ago, but I'm sure it's still on. I haven't watched QVC in such a long time. And they would have jewelry on a turntable, and that thing would turn and turn and turn. I would pick up the phone to make a call, to order, and then the moment they would take the call, I would hang up. Because I was not there to shop. I was zoning out. You know, everyone zones out in a different way. We all have our own habits. We all have our own quirks. And I don't know what yours is.
1 minute.
So if you're nodding along, you're not alone. Let's try something. My phone lines are open right here. You can call. We can have a conversation. And today, the third person who makes a call, I'm going to gift you one of my books. I'll give you The Powerful She. We'll get your information, and I'll give you one of my books called The Powerful She, because I want you to be exactly that, powerful, and come to believe in yourself. I'm Liza Boubari. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Is something weighing on your heart? A decision, a fear, or a challenge you can't shake? Let's talk about it, because your story matters. Join me Sundays at 10 p.m. for Real Talk with Liza, where we evoke, embrace, and evolve one conversation at a time. Our phone lines are open. Call in now at 866-870-5752, and let's have a conversation. Now back to Real Talk with Liza.
Mike is live.
Welcome back to Liza, Real Talk with Liza. You know, this is the whole thing. Life is reality. There is nothing that it's scripted. Everything we do in life, it's embracing this moment. So let's try something now. Close your eyes for just a moment. No matter where you are. Not if you are driving. Please make sure. Not if you are driving. If you are driving, you can just pretend that your eyes are closed and just go along with this. Unless you're driving, because I want to make sure that you are safe. So if you're driving, just breathe in with us. Take a nice slow inhale and exhale. One more time, nice deep breath. And smile as you exhale. That's right. And one more time, nice 3 deep breaths. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and exhale as you smile. And as you let it go, I want you to whisper to yourself, what am I carrying that was never mine to hold? I want you to question that. What am I carrying that was never mine to hold? Is it fear? Maybe it's generational. Maybe it is grief, perhaps guilt, or old vows to stay small. Just become aware of it. Because your subconscious mind will always answer if you give yourself permission. This is why when women come to me, they think they are here at my office for weight loss. They want to change the numbers on their scale. And you know what the scale is? It's another judgment. When you stand on it and you look down, remember, on the scale, what do? You look down. That means you're not standing up and looking at yourself in the mirror. You're looking down to see and judge how much you weigh. What is my body now? Let me have that number on that scale judge how I feel and how I'm going to smile, or I'm walking off. I'm going to get off that scale, and that number is going to determine my mood and the way I feel for the next few minutes, few hours, even the day. There's people I know that get on the scale at least twice a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. You want to be judged? Let that number judge you. And that's what you're allowing yourself. If you want to get on the scale, this is what I say. Once a week. Get on the scale once a week and have a goal and allow that. Because the women who come to me, when we are doing the program for Stand Up to Slim Down, we go by the measurement of inches. And we measure it first as they come in, as the program starts, since it is a 9-week, and then 3 weeks later, and then 3 weeks after that, which is 6 weeks later, and then at the end of 9 weeks. So in 9 weeks, they are measured only 3 times, and the scale is put away. No more scale. No more judging, analyzing, and criticizing yourself as long as we are on this program together. Because the first 3 weeks, what you're doing is evoking a lot of emotions. That means we're peeling away the deep-rooted emotions that has been forgotten. Okay? The truth is, you can eat kale and drink green juice all day long, but if you're still feeding on that self-betrayal, and if you're still swallowing resentment, and if you're still skipping meals of joy and self-acceptance, you'll stay hungry. It's not what you feed the body. It's the eyes that still want it. And the eyes can also be deceptive. I had clients come to me after popping their lap band. I've had people refer to me after doing the surgery. And then after doing the surgery, few months later, within 7 months, 8 months, they've gained more weight. After doing the lap band, I had a client that did the lap band twice and came to me because he was constantly popping the lap band, the ring. Okay, so why? Because the eating, again, it's not what you eat, but it's what's eating at you. I hope this makes sense to you. This is why I created the Stand Up to Slim Down. Not just to help you lose weight, but to lose the emotional baggage that's been weighing you down for years. We don't gain weight in weeks. We may, but not several. So things that happen to us, we pile it up by eating. And then the body has to stretch to make room. Frankly, our stomach is as big as, I was going to do a fist and for people to see, but even if you open the fist and open your hand, it's as big as when your hand is open. When you look at all 5 fingers, that's as big as your stomach is. Nothing. And when it gets enlarged, that means your body has to make more room for the things we put in there. You can exercise and gain weight and then lose weight and gain weight. When it gets to yo-yo, that means there is a deeper reason you're gaining those weight. So, and of course, I'm talking about those who are done all the medical, if it is not thyroid, if it is not hypothyroid, if it is not a medical reason. Okay? So I want to make sure that I am not stepping on anybody's toe. Okay. So ask yourself right now, are you finally ready to do the deep inner work so you can stop feeding what's eating you? That's a question to ask yourself. That's a question to ask your body. Am I finally ready to do the inner work so I can stop feeding what's eating at me? Or are you still hoping the next diet, next compliment, the next relationship will save you from yourself? A lot of people do a lot of things to please another. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Women do the makeup, they dress up. For 15 years, I even did massage. I was a massage therapist. This is one of the things, it was amusing. And even one time I was speaking and I asked women, I said, how many of you shave your legs before you go to a massage therapy or a massage? So many of the women raised their hands, right? We do so much. We take a shower before we go to the doctor. We take a shower before we go to the spa. You go to the spa, you have to take a shower to get into the pool. To get to the massage, you have to make sure you shower before you get a massage. So all the things we do to cleanse, to be good or to be proper, to get a massage for someone else to massage your body, or to get naked and get in bed with someone, right? We are so self-conscious. And I don't know about you, but I've been there, okay? The reason I said that, I used to have men that would come for a massage. Not one man thinks that their hairy legs have to be massaged. Shaved before they get a massage. Think about it. Isn't that funny? It is funny, and yet it is reality. We go through doing so much to look pretty, to look proper, and to look beautiful, all the cosmetics and everything. Yes, we do it for ourselves, but it is how we look. How often do our partners, especially men, do that? No, they're comfortable in their skin more than women are. So, yes, I do the same thing. We always want to look our best. But when we get to that level, that we start criticizing, analyzing, and judging ourselves far more deeply, only to look good for the outside, that's what I'm working with. And that is why my clients come to me, to find inner peace, to find comfort, and to connect with themselves. The phone lines are open, 866-870-5752. Call me, ask me any question. Let's get together. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Real Talk with Lisa. I want to start with a story. It's also in my book, Stand Up to Slim Down, where you can find it on Amazon right now. Beautiful cover. It's about realizing that you have more power than you believe. Okay? And everything I do, when I say stand up, it's for you to start believing in yourself and knowing that you can. Okay? So here's a testimonial. Well, it's about a story. One of my clients that used to work with me, Magda, adored donuts. Every Friday, she'd treat herself to one at work. But as we explored her patterns, she realized donuts were just a snack. They were not just a snack. They were a connection to her grandfather, who always brought her donuts as a child every time he would come to visit once a week on Fridays. Now, through our sessions, Magda began to honor the sweet memories without relying on donuts anymore. She started journaling about her grandfather, about the stories of their family, and occasionally indulging in a donut. Not out of habit anymore, but as a mindful choice. And through the work we do, you eat whatever it is that you want to eat. You eat one half, you cut it in half, you eat one half of what you want, and realize that I can put the other aside and eat it later. Why? So that you are not hoarding everything. It's yours. You don't have to have it all at that time. Okay? So even when I eat a cookie, I do as I preach. I cut my cookie or even a piece of chocolate in half, and I eat one half, and the last bite is not mine. I teach my clients to realize that the last bite is not yours, and you can share it. You can share it with the universe. You can share it with the ants. You can put it in the trash and let it go. See, let it go, release. So everything is practicing what you do. You stand up and you look up instead of looking down on the scale. You cut the food in half, eat one half, and if you need to continue more or want to continue, you do it by choice. But again, the last bite is not yours. Within weeks, Magda found sweetness in her life by connecting with loved ones and baking healthy snacks with her kid. So she found a better way of connecting with doing something memorable and started doing things with her children on Fridays. It's about shift. It's about a mindset shift. It's about shifting patterns. It's about shifting habits. When you start, as we start working on peeling away layers of understanding how your habits, how your behaviors are formed, when it was formed, all we do, yes, through the work of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and yes, coaching and cognitive talking and understanding patterns, and you journaling, you get to see patterns. You get to see why you do certain things or why you have been doing certain things and shift it. So just like Magda, instead of having donuts every Friday because it was a habitual thing and it was this emotional connection to her grandfather on Fridays, she changed it and started cooking and baking with her children and started a whole new thing. And they started doing gluten-free, sugar-free cookies and started sharing it with the community and her kids and friends. So discovering your patterns is about, like just like Magda, a woman in her late 30s, felt imprisoned by a cycle of emotional eating. She had stress at work, coupled with feelings of loneliness, sent her reaching out for comfort food. And Fridays, why Fridays? She thought because Friday is the end of a work week and she didn't want to go home alone. So she would go home, get on the couch, and have donut. She described this behavior as, I do this automatically every Friday after work, a habit that she felt powerless to break. And when we began working together, Magda started to uncover the deeper roots of her habit. Unresolved feelings of loneliness, inadequacy, anxiety, and childhood messages that was tied to food. Her joy was Grandpa. Every Friday, she would run to him, and he had always had a donut waiting. So to ignore what was happening in the house, that was a tumultuous surrounding, she would doze out, watching TV and indulging in her donut. And I don't know if this makes sense to you or not. If this is another pattern, you may have a different pattern other than this. But she remembered her grandfather saying, "You are as sweet at this as this donut." Isn't that a lovely thing to hear? And when you love someone, you take that to heart and you remember it. Your subconscious mind remembers it, and you want to stay as sweet. So that sweetness kept her company when she was home alone on Friday nights, because Friday afternoons, because they were going through a divorce, Fridays was not her time, and the husband, the ex-husband, had the kids, and he would pick the kids up after work, so she was home alone. Once she started changing the routine and having the kids over on Friday and doing this cooking and everything changed for her. So I want you to think about it. It's not what you weigh that matters. It's shedding and letting go of what's been weighing you down. It's one of my quotes. And today, even on my social media, I put a picture on my story. I put the picture of this beautiful tree, and I said, "Be a tree. Let go of dead leaves and start blossoming as who you truly are meant to be." Yes, I can be very poetic. So, if this is resonating with you, and if you feel that tug in your heart and know you've been waiting for a safe place to finally unpack all of that, I invite you to start with me. Let's explore possibilities and do the work together. It's a safe space. You can always call me, even after this show, if you're not willing to call right now and get on the phone while everyone else is listening. Call me at 818-221-2797. I invite you to get on a call with me. I offer a 15-minute consultation. You can even go to Amazon, purchase one of my books. I have 12 audio recordings. Yes, they are hypnosis and hypnotic suggestions. So you're going to listen to them in a safe space, except one of them for Stand Up to Slim Down, which is the weight program and audio recordings. One says Move Your Body, which is you can get that, and while you're exercising and walking, you listen to that, because what's the best thing you can do for your body is move your body. right? You can walk, you can go hiking, you can just sit in your chair as I am and move your body, because the body wants to get happy. When you move your body, all the muscles, every part of your body wakes up. And there's nothing better than making your body happy. Yeah. There are many things you can do to make your body happy, I know. And you can do any of them that makes you smile. So, as we are continuing, and I invite you to realize, where in your life are you smiling on the outside and doing that movement right now? As you inhale and exhale, you are breathing in, breathing out, and allowing your body to awaken. So, every day, you make a difference. When I talk about self-confidence, it's when you start believing in yourself and you say, yes, I can. I can do this. If everything else has failed, why not start with yourself?
1 minute.
And realize that each and every step you take, you are stepping forward. You are moving forward, and you're saying yes to you. So the peeling away is because when you release the peel, when you peel away, just like peeling an apple, where do you get? You get to the juice. And when you cut the apple, you release the pulp and you take a bite, right? And the first thing that you hear is what? The sound of a bite of an apple. And then if you close your eyes, you know exactly what an apple tastes like without even having an apple in your hand or even taking a bite of an apple. And that's because your memory bank, which is your subconscious mind, already knows. Your subconscious mind already knows and is ready for you to be the best version of you. Isn't it time to get healthier and better? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Liza, and you're on Real Talk with Liza. Is something weighing on your heart? A decision, a fear, or a challenge you can't shake? Let's talk about it, because your story matters. Join me Sundays at 10 p.m. for Real Talk with Liza, where we evoke, embrace, and evolve one conversation at a time. Our phone lines are open. Call in now at 866-870-5752, and let's have a conversation. Now back to Real Talk with Liza.
Mic is live.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Liza. Here's a thing, an excerpt in my book that I wanted to share. It says the process of transformation. It's why we revisit the deep childhood in order for us to release, because I had a client, and this is what happens, especially with our teenagers nowadays. She was so conscious of her weight that she was thin as a fiddle because she wanted to fit in be a cheerleader. So she would eat and then go vomit and get sick. She got so sick, and to get in the team. And what she got there, the peer pressure and the pressure of being there was so much. And she didn't want to be a cheerleader. Believe it or not, she did not want to. But it was all the pressure only because her boyfriend wanted so. I also had another client, a Okay, the book dropped. 4.0 average student that her parents brought to me. And I remember the day that they brought her. Mom was holding one side and dad was holding from the other side. And they came into my room and they said, "You were referred to us." This girl, months prior, started become depressed, losing a lot of weight. Her grades had dropped, and the parents did not understand what was going on because she was always happy. She was always giggly. She had friends. She was secluding herself and isolating herself. So emotionally, mentally, physically, she was declining. It got to a point that one day, as she's talking to her cousin, she says, "You know what? I'm just going to take my life." And her cousin goes, tells her mom, which is her aunt, and the aunt calls this girl's mom and says, "We need to do an intervention." So they call 911. This girl was taken to the hospital. The hospital keeps her for a few hours, and then they took her to Olive View. And I'm saying this because this is years ago, and I have the permission because she also wrote a heartfelt testimonial for me. So after being in Olive View for a few days, of course, under observation and everything, they brought her home, and she got worse to a point that they didn't know what to do. Okay. She had already had many therapies, and she was brought to me. Crying, I sat down and I asked her if she's willing to sit on the floor with me. She sat on the floor with me. And as she is rocking, not even looking at me, her mom is crying, I held my hand and I said, "May I have the permission to work with you? But before working with you, I need to ask you a question." And she's not even looking at me. And I said, "My question is, do you want to get better?" That's it. She looks up and she said yes. So the reason for all that, the reason I'm sharing this, is not because she didn't look good. It's not because she was overweight. It's not because she was sick. None of that. But months prior to that, her boyfriend broke up with her at age 17, told her that she was fat. And this girl was not fat at all. Except it was very mean what he said because he wanted to be with someone else. And this poor girl took it upon herself, without realizing, to self-destruct. She didn't understand what happened. So the subconscious mind is a very powerful thing. And after all that decline, once she realized that she stopped eating, she stopped doing everything, and became thin as can be. And by working together in less than 8 weeks, not only she gained her health back, she thrived, she graduated high school, and she had 5 university acceptance, and today she is in her 2nd year of medical school. I want you to understand, 2nd year, yeah, because this was years ago. She's already in 2nd year of medical school. This happens when we don't understand how it's not what we eat or we don't eat. It's what's been eating at us. And just one word, one suggestion, one old memory, grandpa saying you're as sweet as a donut, or someone saying you are overweight and I no longer want to be with you. Words do matter, and the words we say to ourselves also matter more. So starting today, commit to a journey of self-empowering and becoming healthier and becoming better than yesterday. And say this to yourself every single day. Do a vow to yourself and commit and make a promise to you, because that inner self, the inner self that I call it, it may not be a child, maybe a 17 years old, maybe a 5 years old, maybe a 30 years old. I don't know when we start doing and changing patterns, but everything comes back to you. It's never about them. And it doesn't matter who them is. It's what you take upon yourself to believe and give your power to the outside. I started this conversation today is when we come to believe and we diss ourselves for someone else or for something else, because we think, if I do it for you, if I give up a part of me, or I eat less, or I am stronger than anything, it doesn't matter what the story is if it's not about you. I'm not talking about being self-centered. That means everybody do everything for me, but paying attention. So commit to a journey to write a short affirmation to guide you. Something like, I choose to prioritize myself because I deserve to feel better. Identify a trigger. What situations or emotions make you reach for food when you're not hungry? Write it down. And you can start by saying, I feel, and see what it is that you feel. When you see yourself reach for the refrigerator, not because you're hungry, or opening cupboards, or opening drawers to find something, or even hiding food. Believe it or not, when you start hiding food, you're hiding something else, and it's never about the food. And count your blessings on everything that you have. Okay? And small wins. Celebrate small wins. Set one small, achievable goal for the week. Something like drink a glass of water before each meal, or take a 10-minute walk before that non-hungry eating. Okay? Take a walk. And your commitment to you, before we go into saying that it's the work about stand up to slim down, it's about turning emotional weight to physical wellness. And that's what I help you, guide you to learn more about this and how we can lighten up your weight. Okay? Because you deserve to feel good in your body and free in your mind. And definitely have peace in your heart.
1 minute.
I want to leave you with a quote that always stops me in my tracks. And it's by by the brilliant Jim Rohn. And he said, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. But I'll add, take care of your soul, because your body listens to every whisper of it. Thank you for joining me on Real Talk with Liza tonight. Until next time, may you evoke, embrace, and evolve. God bless you, and may the universal light surround you always.